You didn't know that they were around the corner tonight. They're over there. I don't know that they tour all that often. But speaking of the Funny Bus, if you're not hip to it, we did this last year and had a lot of fun doing it. Cleveland Funny Bus is a 90-minute tour, leads from Collision Bend there in the Flats. Your tour guide are local comedians who do a fantastic job of making the sights and sounds of Cleveland even more interesting than you knew they could be. And Bill and I are your hosts. We're doing alternating weeks every Wednesday in May and June. Alan Cox Show night on the Funny Bus. So tonight's sold out. I think next week with Bill is almost sold out. But go to funnybus.net and you can get the details. Julia Mary is one of those comics. She'll be in here next hour. I'll have money here for you in about 10 minutes, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie, if you want to get your mitts on some of that. Guardians are playing as we speak. I don't know if they have lost that game. Oh, it's bottom of the eighth. Tigers are up 4-2. So Detroit will end up, if it keeps going that way, will end up having taken 2 of the 3 games. And then the Guardians will go, and they will lick their wounds, probably destroying the Chicago White Sox. Much to my chagrin, but that's just how it's been. I didn't mean to rhyme. Guardians White Sox tomorrow night at whatever the hell they call it now, Guaranteed Rate Field. People get mad around these parts when you say Jacobs Field, because it's Progressive Field, of course. And by people getting mad, I mean the people who work for Progressive Insurance Company, because they like the mentions. But it's the same thing I do when I go home. It's still Comiskey Park to me. And ain't nothing wrong with that. So bottom of the eighth around the corner here as the Guardians wrap up that series with Detroit. And then the Cavs will play in Boston on Thursday night, Saturday and Monday, games 3 and 4 back here at the Romo Fijo. I will have tickets for you on Monday for that night's game. And hopefully the Cavs won't be completely up against it on Monday. That could very well be a must-win game for them. And so I'm going to send Rob to a couple of spots on Monday. We're going to do a ticket drop on the west side. We're going to ticket drop on the east side. A lot of east siders always complain that when I do something like that, we don't go out to the east side. My thought process has always been, well, the Romo Fijo is down here, and so if I'm going to give away tickets day of, I guess my mind kind of defaults to people who might be closer to it.
Something more central.
Central. So we'll do west side and east side on Monday. I saw Martin Lawrence is doing an arena tour and coming to Cleveland.
Yeah. That's
you ever seen
cool.
Martin Lawrence live?
I have not, but my buddy, Rob Ward, who's been on the Alan Cox Show Comedy Tour, has done some of those arena shows with him, and I believe he will be on the Cleveland one.
That's fantastic.
Very, very cool.
Martin Lawrence, Y'all Know What It Is tour is going to do the Romo Fijo on Saturday, August 3rd. Those tickets will go on sale the 17th. I think I to this day remember going to see You So Crazy in the theater, circling back to 1994. That was spring of 94. There were 3 white people in the theater, including me, which I didn't understand because Martin Lawrence in 94 was a big deal. And like the show Martin had been on for a few seasons by then, which was a huge show for Fox. Some people consider Martin to be one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And I didn't understand why it was such a narrow draw for his stand-up concert film.
Not just one theater. There might have been a theater that was full of white people.
Why would mine have been so different?
I went to part of town you went to.
I went to a random show on a Saturday, and I didn't understand it. I was like, you don't get to be as big as Martin Lawrence by just appealing to one section of the population. Bad Boys hadn't come out yet. I think that was the next year maybe. But I mean, Martin had been on for a minute. So anyway, I thought You So Crazy was frigging hilarious. He's wearing that dumb leather poncho, like Eddie Murphy and Raw had that red, leather jumpsuit. And Martin Lawrence is running around in this heavy leather poncho which, again, I've said
I
it before
imagine-
and people disagree with me, but it's better to look good than to feel good. Now,
So sweaty.
when
So
you're
sweaty.
dripping
Yeah.
sweat
So
on
sweaty.
stage, but Cat Williams does it. I mean, there's a lot of these guys, they're like, I will sacrifice my personal comfort to look fly up there. And I guess that's what Martin was doing.
Yeah, but I don't even think that looks good. It looks stupid.
Uh,
A leather poncho is not a good look.
I mean, it was okay on him. That's nothing I could pull off. Maybe I could. Think I
Try
could
it.
pull off a
Yeah, wear a leather
poncho
tonight on the
Until
funny
you
bus.
try.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have one. I'd have to buy
What?
one,
Make
but
one.
you know
Yeah.
what? I'll look because you and I are alternating weeks.
I also imagine the reason it was for his stand-up. I imagine it was heavily marketed to the black
Rain.
community
Oh.
and not
Rain enthusiasts?
as much to the white community.
Well, here's the
And
thing.
You knew about it because you're cool.
It was barely marketed at all. It was
Right.
it was
So
released.
it's going to get the P1 people, which is more black people.
It was released unrated because Miramax put it out, and somebody wanted to give it like
Miralax.
yes. This was a Harvey Weinstein joint. They wanted to give it an NC-17, and the studio didn't want to do that, so they said, "Screw it, we'll put it out unrated." And now you say Miralax is a goof, but I'm pretty sure that no one in the theater was suffering from constipation.
You never know.
You never do know. But I, in any public event I like to go to, I do like to take a small survey of the people around me as to everyone's gastrointestinal difficulties. So if you ever see me at the movie theater, it's pretty likely that I'll ask you if your gut is feeling okay. I just like to make sure that everybody's there to have a good time.
How are your poops?
Yeah.
Healthy, sturdy.
Sturdy. Sturdy
Oh.
poops. Yep. You could do push-ups off of them. And you wouldn't miss them at all. So, yeah, if you want to go see Martin Lawrence, May 17th, the tickets will go on sale. The show is Saturday, August 3rd for his arena tour. Y'all know what it is. And that new Bad Boys movie is coming out. So he's probably, part of it is promotion for that. I got a letter from Christina. You know, we get a lot of these listener-submitted AI songs about the show now, and Christina thought she was going to be all slick. So she sent a song about my birthday. Well, you might think you're slick, but I'm slicker. Special song for Alan, she writes. I don't know if this is Christina from Vegas, but...
Christina from Vegas is foxy.
I'm sorry?
Christina
Yes.
from Vegas is foxy.
I know.
On June special day,
I told her I was going to bleep it.
gonna celebrate.
I told you I don't talk about my birthday.
Alan Cox,
She's trying to be sweet.
you're the man we adore.
See, she adores me.
We're gonna party hard like never before. Your smile is infectious, your heart is gold. You've touched our
Both wrong and
lives,
wrong,
made
but
us
I appreciate the
feel
sentiment.
whole. Alan
My
Cox,
smile is not infectious, and my heart is definitely not gold. Fool's gold, yes.
energy and passion.
Yeah, energy and passion, yep. Ignite your rage. Well, anyway, it was a very sweet song, but trying to get me to talk about my birthday, and of course I had to bleep that out because I'm not going to do that. Because I don't care, Bill. I've made this very clear. And everybody's proving my point for me, that it's everybody else who wants to talk about it, not me. And why you'd want to talk about somebody else's birthday, I have no idea. Someone to whom you're not related or have any relationship to.
Well, everybody has a relationship to you that listens to the show.
They have a
Yeah.
passive relationship, not an active
love
one. I
you.
think you'd have to have
social for some of them.
I think you'd have to have an active relationship with someone to really take a great deal of interest in their
Well, when you
birthday,
talk about
maybe.
it as much as you do, of course.
I don't talk about it.
Talk about it.
I don't.
Everybody.
She sends
So
me a
whole
song, and I got to bleep it
Mm-hmm.
because I want nothing to do with that. I've got money for you. Forget all that mishigas. I got $1,000 right here, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie, to put in your grubby little mitts. So listen closely, and good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Happy. That's happy. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Admittedly, I have not kept an ear to the ground on this Drake Kendrick Lamar thing. But are they dissing each other professionally? Are they calling each other out?
Personal.
That's what it seemed like. Okay, who called who that?
Kendrick called Drake a pedophile.
Why did he do that? In a song, he called him a pedophile?
Yes.
Use that word. Or he alluded to him
No,
liking
I
young
don't
girls?
know.
Or how did this start?
I think Drake had a line about Kendrick in like a song, and then it went. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Because I've
Track
seen,
by track.
articles like, oh, their beef explained, and I haven't read those because whatever.
Oh, I've reached my monthly limit on Vulture.
On beef information?
Why do you have to pay? This is ridiculous.
It's all paywalls now.
It's so stupid.
Just put it in
give
over
me
at 12-foot ladder, and you'll be fine.
What the hell does that mean?
It gets you right. It goes past the paywalls. Anyway, what I'm saying is, while even local news is talking about this in their entertainment reports and things like that, especially local Toronto stations, you've got to make sure that you're getting the information correct. This is actually New York City. This is WPIX there, Channel 11.
New York City.
And the guy had a hard time reading the teleprompter.
Security guard who was shot outside the mansion of the rapper, I should say, Drake in Toronto.
Now, many people are asking this evening.
There was a security guard shot outside the mansion of the raper Drake. And so I thought maybe that was a Freudian slip. Kendrick Lamar had been accusing Drake of doing terrible things. But I just didn't understand. They would describe it as a long-running feud. And I wasn't sure.
It started in according to USA Today. It started in 2013.
Your reliable source for hip-hop news.
Yes. It started in 2013 when Kendrick Lamar rapped saying that he wanted to murder Drake and other prominent rappers.
Wow.
And then
Yeah, but he didn't have a beef with all those other people, did he? Just Drake took the bait?
Well, and then again in March, there was another song that came out where Lamar references Drake saying it's time for him to prove that he's the problem.
I mean, imagine writing songs about another rapper. Like all your songs, and I know part of the hip-hop thing is, like, that's part of all of it, right? But, I mean, beefs go back to the birth of the genre. But when you're, like, writing songs, lyrics, you're trying to write entertaining, provocative lyrics about one other guy, and you're just going back and forth.
So then
Even Machine Gun Kelly had the good sense to lay down his guns with respect to Eminem.
It goes to the song Push-Ups by Drake. This is a full diss track. So this is
Those
only,
little orange ice cream treats?
That's a push pop.
So good. No,
Uh-huh.
push-ups.
Push-ups are different.
Yeah.
Well, this is, I guess, a full diss track, meaning that it's just about screw you, Kendrick Lamar.
Wow.
Pipsqueak, pipe down, you ain't no big three. Ooh. He goes against his shoe size, saying he has little feet.
This is what I'm saying. At some point, you got to keep writing these songs back and forth. You're going to get into granular details, and people listening are like, what? Like, this might be fun for a couple of days, but then you go...
People love it.
Well, they love it for a couple days, but then when you're listening, all the songs are about the other guy. You're like, Jesus Christ. Sing about bitches or something, man. I mean, sing about, you're laying it down on some...
Yeah, people love the drama, and they'll
but
be into it for a while.
For a while?
Yeah.
So
wow.
then April 30th, Kendrick releases another song where he calls Drake pathetic master manipulator, a habitual liar.
Wow.
He's not a rap artist. He's a scam artist. That's a song called Euphoria. And then just on May 3rd, he does it again. 6:16 in LA on the morning of May 3rd. This is ridiculous. Have you ever thought OVO is working for me? What does that mean? Drake's OVO record label. Oh, that's what it was. called Drake a bully. I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team whispering that you deserve it.
And these are all lyrics in the songs.
These are lyrics in the songs. Obviously,
Wow.
I'm not doing them justice.
Well, none of us can.
Oh, another diss track. After that, 14 hours later, Drake says that Kendrick Lamar abused his family.
Wow.
When you put your hands
Verbally?
on your girl, it's self-defense because she's bigger than you.
But it's just like, yeah, I get the drama, and I guess it's fun for people who dig that. But after a while, you just be like, all right. Bill, I bet you didn't know diss track is short for disrespect.
You know what? I didn't. Now I do.
Boy, I'm really starting to dislike the Drake.
Hate the Drake.
Everything comes back to Seinfeld.
So this is the one where he calls him a pedophile. May 3rd, it's called Meet the Grams. Him and Harvey Weinstein should be in a cell for the rest of their life. He's got sex offenders on his label that he keeps on a monthly allowance.
The Kendrick line was something to the effect of, "You're trying to strike a chord, A minor."
That's funny.
A minor.
Hey, Drake, I hear you like them young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any girl that talked to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. That doesn't
Yeah.
even rhyme.
And again, I'm sure we're slaughtering the entire narrative of this thing.
I think we're doing it
Listen, this
justice.
is
No, we're not. We're not. But again, I don't
Same
care. I
way.
mean, I'm so fascinated by that whole move where it's like you're just going back and forth. Like, all right, dude.
Oh, crap. I almost swore. And in the next song, he just straight up says it. Party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Lamar raps. So he just straight up calls him a pedophile. In Not Like Us is the May 4th version.
All right. Well, on the subject of murder, by the way, it's there's one less thing that'll be out there trying to murder you, and that's that Panera lemonade.
They're getting rid of it?
They're getting rid of their charged lemonade after 2 people died. It's got a ton of caffeine in it. The 2 people who died, I guess, didn't realize that they had an allergy or something like that. So it wasn't especially random, but Panera got a lot of... I don't know why they got a bunch of bad press. I mean, for as many people were probably buying this and 2 people die, it's a minor risk. But I think they don't want any more lawsuits.
Okay, would you rather be in the woods with a Panera charged lemonade or a bear?
Oh, boy, that's a good question. I'm gonna say lemonade.
You think?
Because I like lemonade. I'm a big fan of lemonade.
But if you have a heart attack, no one will find you.
The family of 21-year-old Sarah Katz, who was a University of Pennsylvania student with a heart condition, who died after drinking the charged lemonade. Her family is suing Panera. And I think, and the other person was a man in Florida with a chromosomal deficiency disorder and a developmental delay who also died after drinking a charged lemonade. So here's a beverage that, by their own description, has a ton of caffeine and stuff in it. You know, the marketing is like, hey, need a boost in the morning? But if you're 2 people with these kinds of conditions, maybe don't drink the radioactive supercharged lemonade.
It's America, Alan. People can drink what they want.
It is
Don't
true.
tell 'em what to do.
And young people, too. The one girl who died who's 21. There's another woman who's 28 who is alive, but she said that the beverage left her with permanent cardiac injuries. So I think Panera's like, this was just supposed to be some fun thing we put on our menu right next to our awful salads. So we're going to take it off the menu now. And, you know, if you're in PR for that company, you got to put out some statement, right? We've listened to our guests, and we're going to move on from, but these places are also selling like super caffeinated coffee. And because these
But
drinks
doesn't go down as easy as the lemon because of the sweetness.
I mean, but the charged lemonade, 30 fluid ounces. That's a lot. 30 ounces.
Yeah.
And a ton of caffeine. They're like, okay, this has more caffeine than our coffee. And yeah, so it's a ton of sugar and caffeine but whatever. So that won't be out there to murder you anymore. Fortunately, if you have a bad heart, there are all other kinds of food and beverages that are out there willing to murder you. Just not Panera anymore. It's not the game they're in. Their game is sandwiches that you have to reassemble on your own when you get home.
That also costs $40.
40. I just haven't been there in so long. I don't know what they cost now. When we were in
They're not
Independence,
cheap.
there was a Panera down the street. I used to go
No,
to that
it's
all the
not.
time. But
I used to really like it on the road because it's like a healthy option. You get like, a half soup or a soup and half sandwich for like $10. And now that's like $14 or $15 for a half a turkey sandwich and a cup of soup. And then you're like, oh, you want a drink too? You're talking $25. I'm like, I might as well get like a sit down meal for this.
you're like, now I want the